What's up? It's Way Up with Angela Yee. I'm Angela Yee, and Jasmine from thejasminebrand.com is here with me. And this is really Way Up, okay? We're lit today because Alicia Keys is here.
Hey, what's going on?
Legendary Alicia Keys.
Okay.
All right, on
I'll
tour
take
right
it.
now, and I've been seeing some amazing reviews. One thing I was wondering, with all the hit songs that you have, how do you fit all of that into a show and decide what's going to play and how long? Because you got to be cutting out some things that you love.
It's hard. It's definitely hard to get it. But I think, I did tour last year as well, and it's a completely different show. This show is totally different. This is a 360 show, so it's all in the round. It's the first time I've ever done a 360 show, and it is insane. I mean, visually it looks crazy, and musically it's amazing. And I think part of what was able to fuel what I chose to play the songs is whatever I did last time, I really wanted to make it different.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that helped me this time. But it's hard. I mean, we're running through songs and we're hitting them, and then we go to the next one. But I also like to keep it exciting. You want people to be excited all the time. And I've been choosing a few songs that I don't usually play too, just so that there's favorites of mine that
Like
I'm like.
what?
One of my favorites is a song called "Where Do We Go From Here," and I love this song. I was actually inspired by Wu-Tang when I wrote this song, and so it's one of my favorites. The way the beat knocks is bananas. And then another one is called "I Need You." That's one of my favorite songs ever. It has kind of this rhythm to it, but I don't usually play that song, so I'm putting in a couple of pieces that don't usually happen. I also have a second piano that flies up somewhere, you'll see.
Oh, wow.
And that piano
Sheesh.
is where I do a lot of the songs that'll be requests. Like, people will say, "Man, you never play."
How do you get the requests? Like, do you look online or do you in the
they'll be
audience?
like on Twitter.
Okay. Because
or
I was going to
it'll
ask
be
you that
on-
with song selection. Do you listen to your fans? Like, she didn't play this tonight. I wonder why. Or is that something you take into account, or you just kind
I
of go?
do.
Okay.
Or I'll ask, like, what do you want to hear? What have you been wanting to hear? And
Wow.
It's exciting for me to hear it, and then I can kind of bring it back. So that's the stage that I do a bunch of those songs on.
And you still making number one hits too. So that's hard because, like, do you incorporate, okay, this song just went number one.
I
So
do. So "Come For Me" just was number one for 3 weeks in a row, and so I definitely have it in the show, and it's so fresh. It's kind of fresh to be able to kind of go from here to there to there to here and let it all just flow. It flows really, really good. So I am absolutely a major stan of this show. This show needs to be
I like
stan.
that you're a stan of
I
your
love
own
my
show.
show.
I'm a stan of my own show. This
love
show is
that.
crazy. So, but yeah, now we put it on. We put it in everywhere.
and I love the fact that I've been seeing you do things. I saw the Foggy Raw video, right?
Right.
Where you were with him.
Right.
And you know how exciting that is for him that people actually hit you up on social media while he was trying to get this cleared, couldn't get through.
I can't believe he got it cleared, though. I'm going to be honest. When I was looking
And
at the
then got
story.
to sit down with you.
Yeah.
You know what happened was, first of all, it got on my radar, and Foggy is fresh. I really like Foggy a lot. Like, if you've seen this video, the visual is sick. It got on my radar like a while ago, and I was like, oh, this is fresh.
How did it get on your radar?
Different people would send me
hit it
and
to-
be
send it
like,
to you? Mhm.
oh, did you see this guy do this? You know what I mean? And I looked at it and I was like, oh, that's fresh. Then time passed, and I didn't realize he was going to campaign.
He's like, y'all hit up Alicia Keys and tell her I need her
That's
on
the
here.
way, and it
You know how
worked.
many people about to do that now, though?
Don't hit me,
Yeah.
by the way. And
Right.
don't
Like,
hit
they'll be
me
like, "Can y'all hit
If they
unless
know
you're
it works,
amazing.
like,
Because after you leave, I'm going to try it.
He's like, hit him. Nah, but a lot. I have to be honest. A lot of people do hit me for those particular songs. You don't know my name gets a lot of burn.
yeah.
There's a lot of songs that get like a lot of burn that people want to use, and I really appreciate how people love those songs. But it has to. You can't do it for everybody.
No, you
because
definitely
can't.
It would kind of make it corny, right?
Yeah.
But he's special. I think he's a special guy, and I think he has a vibe to him. So I said, well, have him come meet me, and let's see if he's the energy, and he was the energy that you feel like
Right.
he is, and so it's good. It's
And
good.
Little Dirk, you played the therapist in his video.
How about me being a therapist? You
I
like
know.
it?
She said, "How
I
about me?"
did.
What about in real life? Do you
Are you that person
do you
people
do,
come
no,
to?
Well, are you that person also? Do you do therapy? Do you have a therapist in real life?
Okay. Well, let's answer both questions. First question is, am I that person? I would definitely say I'm a therapist-esque type of person. I'm definitely a great person you can trust. I'm a person that you can come and get advice from, or people will call and be like, I'm going through this, like, what do you think? I feel like I give sound advice, so
Right.
I'm good on that. And then on the therapy side, I definitely it's kind of hard to find a really great therapist, I think,
Okay.
for anybody. But I do believe that therapy is a beautiful thing. And I think that everybody needs therapy. There's not a person
That's
that
what she
doesn't
tells
need
me.
I
therapy.
tell Ange all the time. First of all, you're a
That's
good
why,
therapist.
That's why she was looking at you like that. She was looking at
No,
you.
'cause- so I could tell when Jasmine don't go to therapy. I'd be like, girl, you need to call your therapist.
But Angela gives good advice. But also, Angela needs therapy though.
We all need therapy.
Yeah,
But no,
some of us need it more than others.
that's a fact.
Yeah, and we're in denial about it. And
That's
when I
a
say
fact.
we're, I mean her.
Got
So
it.
yeah, but
Got
also I think maybe because you give good advice, you said she gives good advice too, and I feel like sometimes those type of people,
Feel like they don't need it.
yes,
Yes.
but they do.
One thing I did do is I had a really phenomenal, like she kind of called herself a life coach. I don't know how I found her through friends, so it was a trusted situation. I mean, I would, you got to definitely research the people that you're spending time with and want to make sure they resonate with you. But I found her to be really effective, and what got me, she had this kind of intro questionnaire. The questionnaire itself was therapy. I was like, if I just fill out this questionnaire, I might be healed.
I'm done.
Forever.
Right.
So,
What kind of question? Like, can you give us a question that was on there?
It was deep. It was, I don't even know if I
Okay.
could. It was so long.
Okay.
It took me days.
Sounds
and
exhausting.
days. It was exhausting. But you had to go in. And I thought it was awesome. She definitely gave me some great advice kind of about how I thought the thing that stuck with me the most was how sometimes we ask people to show up in a way that they're not capable of showing up. And then we get mad at them that they couldn't show up the way we wanted them to show up. And she was like, if you know this person can't show up for you like that, why do you keep putting them in a position to fail you?
Right.
It's like you're actually sabotaging them. Don't do that. Don't put them in a position that they can't meet for you.
It's like managing your expectations of people, right? You can't put on other people what you want them to be if that's not who they are. There's certain people I know, they're very flaky. There's a 80% chance they're not going to show up.
So don't
I know
ask
they're
them.
going to do this, so let me at least make this plans because I know this might not work.
Yeah, like don't ask them to do something that you really can't miss.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you
Yeah.
can't miss it, don't ask that person. They're not the one for you. So I learned, there's some things I really learned. So I do believe in it. I think it's strong.
Now, one thing I'm super excited about, because I love a good play.
Ooh.
Because, I go to the theater.
Yeah,
I will
Ange
go
loves
see,
the theater.
I do. Hell's Kitchen.
Yeah.
Man, and you've been working on this for 10 years?
Yeah.
It's a long
All right.
time.
I mean, so is it that you knew this was going to be a long-term, like, evolving project, or did you think you were going to do it sooner and you're like, it's not there yet?
I guess I didn't have any expectations. The theater world is very different from the music world. Obviously, this is a musical, so we're bringing the music into the piece, and there's new songs in it as well, which are amazing. So I'm really excited for this piece. This piece is undeniable. That you cannot not feel this piece. It's called Hell's Kitchen. Like we said, you're gonna find a girl named Allie in her 17th year, and she's really struggling. She's struggling with her independence. She's struggling with her identity. She's struggling with who she is, where she's going, what she's meant to do, and you really feel for her. Ultimately, it's a love story between a mother and a daughter, and that's kind of ultimately where you get to. But it's a lot of struggles.
This sounds familiar.
Right? For everybody.
Yeah.
Can everybody relate?
Yes. Yes.
Right.
My mom drives me crazy. Okay.
But this is amazing to me, though, because I just feel like this experience, first of all, when I go to the theater, I feel like we don't see enough Black people going.
Right.
Because I'll go see, I went to go see The Slave Play, I went to go see Tina Turner, MJ the Mute. I'll go see all of those.
Right.
And I feel like this is something that everybody is going to want to go to, no matter what.
You are so, everybody's going to see themselves inside of this piece. You're going to love it. It's very accessible, but it's also very honest and very true and genuine. So you feel wrapped up in it. The thing that's my favorite thing about it is the songs. A lot of times the way I've arranged the songs, I asked myself, why didn't I arrange these songs like that before? I'm hearing the songs in a way that I've never heard them. And so you get a chance because different characters in the play are singing them in unexpected ways. So you've never heard these songs like that, even though you know them. So, and they're killing, by the way. Everybody who is in this play is a monster.
How did you find the character that's representative of you?
Malia is her name. And it was hard.
I can't imagine.
Yeah.
It was hard to find somebody who is simultaneously a great actor and also a phenomenal singer.
Yeah, that's tough because I feel like usually you're really strong at one of them and the other one you maybe not so much.
And I've been like a beast monster in regards to casting. Like, it really has to be strong on both sides. Shoshana Bean is playing her mother. She is a monster as well. Everybody who's in the piece is like really, really strong on all sides. And it was hard. It's hard, but it's meant to be. And they show up, and you're like, wow. Every time I'm like, this is crazy.
So you've been seeing the previews and everything.
So we've been putting it all together. We're actually right now in the set building phase, which is incredible. We're doing costuming, and it's set in the 90s, so it's not too much costume.
Oh, I like the 90s.
It's fire. It's fire.
And Hell's Kitchen a little different now. It still is.
No, it's different.
There's still things happening, but it is definitely.
How was it?
Because we're not far from Hell's Kitchen right here.
Right. How was it then? What's the biggest difference you think?
Everything.
Yeah.
Like every single thing. It's just
It was a
obviously
rough
much
place.
more grimy.
I mean, it's called Hell's
It was
Kitchen.
a
I
rough
mean.
place back
dirty,
then.
much more, there's a lot happening. It was hard. Now it's very pretty, very Disney.
Yeah.
But it's
Not
cool.
Disney.
A lot of new
It's cool.
high rises and things like luxury buildings and stuff like that popping up everywhere. So
So November 19th, it opens at the Public Theater. October 24th, it starts previews, so it's happening.
we'll be there.
We got
Yes,
to go.
you're going to be
gotta-
there.
Listen, I'm not even playing games about that. You know I'm going to be right there. And then you've also done like some scoring, right, for movies as well. You've been doing everything. I don't even understand how, and documentaries.
I know. We did do the She's the Music documentary, which is an organization that really brings to light women in the music industry, and particularly in the creative space, but all across the board, just all across the board, because we know there's a deficit there. And in regards to women producers, women engineers, it's called Uncharted. So they really follow these about 12 women, because we do this all-female songwriting camps that benefit different artists that different artists can pull from, and so we follow these 12 women on their journey in this songwriting camp, and it goes into their stories and how they're also artists or they're writers or they're having to work jobs on the side and all the things, and it's an amazing story. So Uncharted, it just debuted at Tribeca Film Festival, and it's really special.
That is true, because think about as far as producers or even engineers, like you don't hear of many women the way that we should. Songwriters, I feel like I do know, that. But as far as like engineers, producers,
We never hardly
me
ever
having worked with
see,
artists, I don't think I've ever been in the studio and seen a woman engineer.
My engineer, Seale, she's been with me since the beginning. She's one of the, I think it's 3%.
What?
Wow.
That is insane.
But you will see female engineers in Uncharted. Like, you will see them, and it's giving them an opportunity also to work and create relationships and be able to build and show their skill and get better. And producers, I mean, obviously I'm a producer, but as producers, I think it's 2 or 3% as well.
Yeah.
Why
female producers.
why do you think it is such a lack of us in that field? Is it the same as any other field where there's not a lot of where it's male dominated?
Yeah, I think there is kind of a system. I think people get used to working with who they get used to working with. It's not like they don't want to work with new people. I think sometimes you just don't know where to find. If you meet your engineer and then you trust them, you kind of rock with them.
Yeah.
So if they happen to be a guy, you're with your guy. And if you're a guy in the business, you're gonna probably rock with a guy.
Yeah.
And so I think it kind of happens like that, and then the door doesn't become open for different people for different circumstances. So that's exactly what it's about, kind of opening the door. And everybody's a part of She Is the Music, by the way. There's tons of male executives, male artists, obviously female artists, females executives. It's all about, even business managers and lawyers and creators and creatives and everybody kind of coming together to support each other. And so sheisthemusic.org, we have a really big database, and that database is one way to try to find people that you connect with in the business. So
We
I
love
know.
that.
It's fresh. It's fresh.
All right, and now of course, we saw your Drink Champs interview, right?
Oh gosh,
And
the
you
best.
talked
That's my
about-
favorite interview in the ever.
Really? I was-
Ever.
when
It was like 2.5 hours.
When I saw them tease it, I was like, oh, she did drink
I
champs?
know. I was
Okay.
like,
I know he wasn't ready for that. He was trying to get me drunk, though. I said, "No." But I can hold it. I can
I
hold it.
co-hosted with Swizz one time, and he said this moment went viral because he was saying some stuff that was like, Nori be like, gets really excited if you say something that's like deep, and
Right.
you're like, But one thing you talked about was Empire State of Mind and how Jay-Z was like, oh, those vocals, can you... Now, with you working with people like Khalid, Lucky Day, Matt, have you ever had to send back vocals and be like, can you do this over?
And how do you say that? How does one say that?
You know, it was harder for Jay because we were in separate places. So I did have to send it because we were trying to meet a deadline. And then he did have to figure out how to tell me back. That had to be hard.
Can you just really tell the story real quick for
all right,
people
so
that
basically
aren't familiar with it?
what happened is when I first did Empire, first of all, Empire almost didn't even happen because Jay was trying to get to me.
It's 9 times platinum, by the way, right now.
By the way, we're about to be diamond on Empire. Let's do it.
By the way.
But he was trying to get to me, and you know, different people kind of weren't relaying the message. Whatever the case was, he couldn't get to me. He finally had to talk to somebody and said, like, is she down to do this record or no? So first of all, I almost was not on Empire. So that's one. Two, when I finally did do it, I was in LA. And I had to cut the record because he needed it for the deadline of the record. And I'm cutting in LA and I'm sick. But I'm like, it's okay, I could do it. Yeah. I get in, I do it. I'm singing it, giving all my heart, all my passion. I send it back. I feel like I killed it. And he basically had to call me and tell me that I needed to do it again because it wasn't good enough. And
How did he say it?
You know, he like, he's like, so.
So he called you personally. It
yeah,
wasn't
he had
like
to
a,
call
yeah.
me. He said, so, I mean, listen, I really appreciate you being on the record. Like, it sounds great. It really is good. I was just thinking, though, you know how you do those, like you do a little more. Could you put a little more of that on the record? And also, do you think maybe we can go one more time for the hook?
You were like, now hold
I
up.
was like, wait, what?
Is that the only time anybody's ever sent something back and been like, can you redo this?
I feel like I've said, okay, I have to redo it. Like, I've personally been like,
Yeah.
I need to do this again. But I think that's the only time.
And when she's saying what he said, I'm
Yeah.
just like, I can feel that, like, oh my gosh, okay, wait a minute.
But you know what? He was right. I mean, honestly, he was right. And I'm really glad that he pushed me to do. That's what big brothers do. You know,
Yeah,
they help
for
you
sure.
be better. And I think we got to be honest with each other. And he don't want me out there not looking my best. And he obviously wants to be his best. So
I want to hear the other version.
I do
I don't
too.
think you're gonna definitely hear. It sounded like more nasal, like
you
that
were
cold,
sick, yeah.
that cold sound. So I did it. I brought it back to New York. We did it again. I think that was the right thing. It had to be in New York.
Of course, you had to be in New York.
You
for
know,
it.
it's
Yeah,
like,
in the
you can't
back's like,
be
man, I know
Empire.
he's bugging.
No, it
Well, your
doesn't.
question, Ange, was for that situation.
Yeah, have you ever had to do that? Because that's a hard call to make. But, you know, you also want to make sure your record, you have a vision of how you want it to sound.
You know what? I can't remember a particular one that felt like. Usually I really like to do records together. I really, really try my best to have artists together. Maybe my boo. Maybe my
Ooh,
boo was
that's a
one of them
classic.
that.
Yes.
And it was less about like the vocals, but more about the music. I remember calling Jermaine. I said, Jermaine, can I get a live bass in this song? Can I get a live guitar in this song? Because it was just. At that time of that record, all those damn guitars was that one keyboard that everyone used. It drove me crazy.
That's because you're an artist.
I'm like, could we
'cause
please just put a real guitar in the song, please? And he actually did it for me.
It
so.
feels like you're a perfectionist just because this is what you do, right? Some people, they go in, they lay down their vocals, but you also produce and, you know, play instruments.
That's
so it's
right.
a bit of a different feel. And I
It
feel
is.
like coming from you, it doesn't feel harsh. It just feels like, okay, this
a
is...
musical collaboration.
Yeah. Let's collaborate. And then the other thing is the makeup line. Okay, we know we got to talk about that real quick because I know you got to go. But Keys Soulcare.
All right.
So give us that because first of all, I love a tinted moisturizer. That is my go-to on days that I don't have to work and put on like real makeup.
Yes.
I just love a good tinted moisturizer.
I need to send it to you too because you're gonna love it. So first of all, let's start from the beginning. Keys Soulcare is really I really created it because I always had challenges with my skin. I had really challenging skin breakouts forever till I was 30 plus. It's just crazy. And so I realized that it wasn't just about what you put on your skin, but what you were allowing around you. And I found that for me, I was having a lot of people that were in my space that were just toxic energy. They didn't have a good vibe.
And you feel like that
know?
was affecting your skin?
Yes.
See, Jasmine?
See, I have issues with my skin. So.
She actually got medication, and
Yeah.
it's hard because then you have to go and do things, and it makes you feel very self-conscious.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? And especially being on TV or everywhere recorded, and you do feel like something's like this. You feel like people judging you, which they are.
Maynard was in here counting her pimples.
Yeah,
one day.
Maynard was like,
I
was like, oh my God.
Yeah, he was like 1, 2, 3, 4.
Wait,
She was
stop.
It was, but it was really bad. Though. It was like, it was bad. I was like,
I
I'm
know
gonna
what you
wear a
mean.
chin strap. Like, what am I gonna do on camera? Okay, sorry, continue.
But I feel you. So this was me. This was me too. And so that's why I created Keys Soulcare, because we developed it with a dermatologist, and everything with Keys Soulcare is all about protecting your skin, because I just needed something that was protecting my skin. And there's a soulful part about it that my fault. There's a soulful part of it about it that every offering, I call it an offering because I don't believe it's a product. I feel like products sound transactional. This is about a deeper conversation about how you're taking care of yourself. And every offering has a mantra on it that really just reminds you to turn routine into ritual. Wow, they really want to talk to me. Sorry about that, guys. So I turned off the phone. So that has shown itself in skincare, body care, air care, like candles and things like that. But I realized we have all these cares and we don't have soul care because we're not taking care of ourselves, which is why our skin and our bodies and our minds are going crazy. So that's the premise of Keys Soul Care, which I love. It's so good. It's amazing. It feels good. You can trust it. I'm sending it to you. I'm sending it to you.
She closes her eyes and she talks about it too.
No,
Yeah,
you
that's
feel.
good.
No, you
Yeah.
feel
Soul
it.
care.
You feel it. So recently, what we developed was an offering that is a tinted moisture. It's a tint and a concealer. So it has a beautiful light touch to it, but you feel that glow is coming from in and out, and it's beautiful. So we have that. We also have kind of cheek. We call it skincare color hybrids.
Okay.
So it's really good for your skin, as it also gives you a little color on your cheek, a little color on your lip, a little glow on your face. That's the vibe. So and you can do what you want with it. You want to feel like you do less, you do less. You want to do more, you do more. You do you. You do you.
I
like
love
that.
that. Well, thank you. I trust it because it's coming from you, because I think there's a lot of products that we find out have harmful ingredients that you're like, how is this even allowed to be on the shelves here? But we trust
you.
We
I
trust
got
Alicia
you.
Keys Soulcare. Well,
That's
thank
it.
you so much for coming by. I know you have a really packed, tight schedule,
Man.
and the tour is happening. So
I can't wait to see everybody. I had to come
360
in.
stage.
Yes.
It's definitely, everyone says like this is the best they see me, and I'm only gonna get better.
All right. Thank you, Alicia Keys. Make sure y'all check it out. Where can people get tickets?
Everywhere.
Everywhere. Yeah.
Everywhere.
That's a great answer.
Yeah.
But maybe
Outside
not
even.
for long, so hurry up.